I need everyone who said Mount Kenya was a breeze to the forefront of the line. Off with their head right now. I remember asking every hiker and every human who's been to Mount Kenya, hey, I'm about to go on this mountain, what to expect? They said, Rono, it's a breeze, especially for you. Like, you've been doing the whole cold plunge. You've been, it's gonna be fine. You just lied. You just lied. You just lied. You just lied. You just lied to me. They kept insisting, actually, the beginning is nothing. At the summit, though, they always paused there. The summit, it's gonna be something. And maybe I went with a positive attitude. I thought, okay, if the beginning is not so bad. Hey, nilitembea 40 days na 40 nights ya wana Israeli. Have you ever hiked and you're losing your mind, bro? I was going crazy. Okay, so there are a couple of routes to get to Mount Kenya. There's Chogoria, which I hear is the hardest. It's kind of like a incline. And then as we did Sirimon, so it was pretty not so bad. Or so they said. The thing about Sirimon, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the worst. But they left the point out where the altitude would have you hallucinating and losing breath. Anyway, so we started at the starting point. Everyone was getting their water, making sure they had snacks. They kept insisting, have enough water, have enough fluids. Everybody's looking like a watchman. Everybody was geared up. So much gear I've ever seen in my life. You've got the breast protector, you've got the ear protector, you've got the mind protector, you've got the pussy protector. I'm joking, guys. I had to. Everybody was packed and loaded, excited. And basically, we're supposed to hike from the start point till the base camp, which is where it's very cold, but it's at the base of the summit. Sleep there so that the following day we can wake up and summit the ice. And so we began. The route up until it was not so bad, was sipping water. But then the altitude started to... I started feeling a little breathless. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, it's the fat people. No, babe. Even the petite were fighting for their life. Yeah, it wasn't about fat shit is short. It was about your lungs. Zimevep. Have you been vaping? Because you will get the music. Oh my goodness, the oxygen was beyond limited. It was like a good man. Hard to find. So after every 1 hour, I was just stopping to collect my thoughts, think a bit. It was the most debilitating thing I've ever done, the most mental thing I've ever done. There's so many times I wanted to turn back and say, wrap it up. So we went through some valleys and hills. We stopped for some lunch. And what they don't warn you about altitude is you're gonna fart. You're gonna fart. Everything you've been holding in, it's gonna come out through the back area. Because apparently there's so much pressure as you go higher. So everything is gonna... It's not funny. Because it will come out even if you didn't plan on it coming out. Everybody go here. Obviously, they did tell us, yeah, you guys it's going to be Bafumbanya for a minute. So we stopped for lunch. Obviously, we're licking salt so that the altitude can reduce. I don't know how to explain this to you guys. As much as the hiking is like a normal Gong Hill kind of hike, or maybe it's a bit tedious, it's the altitude that's making it harder because you're struggling. Harper, my friend. Have you noticed how I've lost so much weight here? It's the mountains. I don't even have calves. Easy because they could strive. After 7 hours, mind you, something that takes 5 hours, we got to the base camp. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it wasn't that bad. It was hard, but it wasn't that bad. Wait until we got to the camp. Baridi. Oh my god, guys, it's so cold you can't even think. You can't even feel, you can't even talk to someone because it's that cold. Have you ever just felt so cold that you're even sad, you're depressed? Mind you, we have jackets, we have scarves, we have muffins, we have clothes. But this cold just has a way to find your toenails, your fingertips. In fact, you just have to accept everything is numb. You're seeing the summit, it's here, it has ice, but at what cost? Mind you, your legs are not even responding because you've been hiking for so long, they're not even there. Guys, I was so cold, I was even irritated. I was just like, what? I just want to be home. I just want to be in my bed. We're supposed to be at this camp for 24 hours. Wake up, that time it's around 6 p.m. Wake up at 1 a.m. to start climbing this ice. That's just a summit. What should you come here? It humbled me. The leader says, you know what? We are doing two groups. One who's doing at 1:30 a.m. and another one at 2:30. So I said, let me go with 1:30 because those are the slow people. He said, if you want to go slow, go early. You can't even sleep. Other people couldn't sleep. The cold, fam. You're in a sleeping jacket, you're in a sleeping bag, but bado in a penya na inakusalimia. It was just Nairobi's men's hearts in there, I'm telling you. Other people said, you know what, we must cuddle. This is not about you, it's about us and the warmth. We have to cuddle. Even if you're a woman, you're a man, fungua your tent, tunaingia na wewe. Mind you, there were white people outside in tents as you were inside like a cabin, but still, those walls had nothing on that cold. Anyway, 1 a.m. reaches, I'm woken up. I said, it's snowing. Someone told me, yeah, it's snowing, but we have to hike right now. I said, Not at we. I didn't know you speak French. Personally, I'm coming at 2 when everything has relaxed a bit. So the 1 a.m. group went when it was snowing. I said, wow, guys, take content, Nini. And every time they were waking me up, I said, guys, relax. 2 p.m. reached and I couldn't keep postponing. In fact, I didn't want to summit. Let me not lie to you guys. I'm not a fan of cold. I really don't like cold. I'm not. Look, this is right in front of me right now. Because that's how much I love warmth. So summiting for me just felt like torture. And I was like, I've already pushed myself for so many kilometers in altitude. Mind you, I was hallucinating. I started seeing people, the trees looking like people. I'd already experienced all the symptoms of altitude sickness. Kama ni nausea, kama ni kunyamba zote. But I had not met the devil himself. The summit. The summit is basically just the very highest peak of Mount Kenya, which is Lenana. I'll never forget this day, guys. It was very humbling. Around 2 p.m., I disembarked. We were the last one, me and some other girl and the guide. Everyone else was way high. And I thought, oh my God, I started telling her, we should thank God, like, altitude didn't affect us so much. There are people who, like, puke, others, like, pass out. It's that serious. I spoke too soon, actually. Because tell me why, as we started hiking up the snow, the temperatures were insane, guys. I don't even know if this is normally possible. My heart began beating so fast, I thought I was gonna die. Mind you, we've not even reached halfway of the first icy mountain. I just told that guide, stop. I can't breathe. I literally couldn't breathe. Guys. Because of the temperatures and because of how high and fast we are acclimatized, like how fast we're rising. Bro, I literally felt so sleepy. It also makes you feel sleepy, like you can pass out anywhere, which can give you frostbite. My hands were frozen. I didn't have the proper attire. Actually, everyone was like layered up. I was not prepared that much. So, I said, because I'm not a quitter, I'm very like hard on myself. So I was like, you know what, let me lick some salt, let me drink some fluids, and we keep it pushing. And I tried, guys. I tried. But it reached a point where I got so nauseous, I felt like puking. My head was spinning. Like, it was actually so bad that if I didn't go down, I literally feel like I would have died. I'm not joking. And, these days I'm in the business of listening to myself. I'm in the business of listening to my body. So I just said, you know what? Mount Kenya will always be here. I'll come back and summit some other time. So I reached mid-summit. Didn't really reach the summit where it was like extremely crazy. The cold, and I knew it was bad because when I was coming down, I experienced like hypothermia, bro. My hand got so cold that when it was getting back to warm, it was in so much pain. My nerves were in so much pain. I couldn't even do this, yeah. So eventually I came down and even went back to the camp, and the camp wasn't any warmer. Like, I was just like, can we go home? So yeah, if you're planning to summit 1K, I don't even know how to tell you. Carry an extra body, carry an extra layer of skin. It's brutal out there.